And then where do you see 2023 going, or even in the distant future? What are your predictions? Where are we now, and what are your predictions? And I'm not going to hold you to it. Okay.
It's funny because I think we talked about this last time on your previous podcast. So it's like I want to look back.
Now we got to go.
Projected. Yeah.
Go back to episode 8, see if she was accurate, and then we'll go double or nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
So no, this question's kind of like throwing pasta on the wall and seeing if it sticks. It's so hard to predict with so many different factors.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Tim here with the TMA Connection. It's your local podcast that focuses on the people that are making a difference in the lives of others, whether that's through the community, through their own lives, or in real estate. And today we are jumping into the real estate world because there's a lot going on in real estate right now. We have an inventory shortage. We have slightly higher interest rates, even though historically they're still below average. And who better to come in today to give us a little bit of education on opportunities for buyers in this market with different programs than Miss Kristin Deems from Atlantic Coast Mortgage. Welcome back.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome back. This is one of our first return guests, and and I think it was episode 8 that I had to go back and look at that, and now we're like episode 32, 33. So
yeah, that's crazy. You're blowing up.
We're growing. We're growing. So for the people that didn't watch episode 8, how dare you go back and watch that, because in that episode, we talked about bridge loans, and bridge loans is a way where sellers can go out and find their property first that they want to buy, because everybody's like, well, I'm scared because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find anything. They're able to take the equity in their home and use that as a way to transition to buy their next home. And we're not going to talk about that today.
Yes.
But that is episode 8. Go in and check that out. Super cool episode. So Kristin, give everybody a little bit of a down low on who you are.
So Kristin Deems with Atlantic Coast Mortgage. I've been in the mortgage space for 7 years now. Prior to that, I was in retail banking for 4 years, and I'm local. I'm just a jump, skip, and a hop away across the Conowingo Dam.
Yeah, okay. Up in Cecil County.
Yeah.
Up in Cecil County. And if you don't know, if you're not on TikTok, you should be, because she is a legend. She is a, what do you call a TikTok influencer.
Oh, no. I'm trying to be like you. Come on.
No. Don't do that. I'm trying to be like you. What are you talking about? So what challenges are you seeing your clients? What are they facing currently in this market? And let's predicate that by saying that we are shooting on February the 28th, 2023. So depending on when you listen to this, the market could have very well changed by then.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a very time-sensitive question. But what are your clients facing as a challenge in this market?
Mainly not having enough assets. Whether that's with inflation right now, they're a little scared to use all of their money, just throwing it all in one house. They don't have any cushion. So the biggest thing for me right now is trying to use down payment assistance or closing cost help to try to get them in a home and make them feel comfortable. So not depleting all of their assets, basically. Yeah,
definitely. And you have actually different programs that buyers can take advantage of, and we're going to talk about 2 of those today. That can really help them financially get into the house that they want. So give us talk about the first one.
Okay, so I would say the state programs. I know you've probably done a podcast on them, but we have the state programs, which are great. They have 3%, 4%, 5% down payment assistant loans.
Okay.
The problem with them, though, is they're loans. So, of course, they have to get paid back. Whether they sell the home, refinance it, that money gets paid back.
Okay.
With these new programs that we're going to talk about today, they're grants. Okay. So we'll go into that a little bit later, but it's nice being able to have these grants where the clients, after a certain period of time, it's completely forgiven.
Wow. Okay. And so, and the state program that you were referring to was the Maryland Mortgage Program.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And they do have different programs out there, and you have the ability to reach into those purses. Is that correct?
Yep. So it's funny. We can actually layer both products.
Okay.
So I can use the state Maryland Mortgage Program, like their best rate program is normally what I'll do. And then I'll also use these grants on top of that.
Wow. Okay, so what's the first program that Atlantic Coast Mortgage offers that can help with closing costs, down payment assistance?
So it's community partners. There's two, community partners and the first-time home buyer.
Okay, so talk to me about community partners.
Community partners, so that's anybody like a firefighter, police, teachers, anybody in like nursing. It's kind of employer-based. It's also active or retired military. It's kind of a broad spectrum, but they get a $15,000 grant.
$15,000.
Yeah.
Is it up to 50? Like it falls maybe somewhere
It's
in
just
between that, or it could be $15,000
Yep.
flat out.
Yep.
That's a huge.
No stipulations. Yep.
That's really helping somebody get in at a minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, you might need to contribute a little bit, but $15,000 covers quite a bit of the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and are there any other qualifications other than being in that kind of service-based career?
So there is an income limit
Okay.
with these programs, and it depends by house size and the area. So every area is a little bit different, and the house size, of course, is different for every family.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the main limiting factor. Other than that, they need to contribute $1,000. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So somebody could get into a house as low as $1,000.
Yeah, and earnest money deposits are typically $1,000.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they pay that.
Yeah, depending on the size
That's
of
it.
the house. We like to do like a 1% earnest money deposit,
yeah.
but certainly, if you could get in on $1,000, it's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's the community partners.
Yeah.
And anything else that I'm missing on the community partners, or is that basically?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I mean, there's no like fine print that we're talking about here?
No.
Okay.
No. It's very easy. There's
Okay.
no like minimum credit score requirement. So some people that are actually falling out of the state program for their credit score requirement can still do this grant.
So what? Okay, so with credit score requirement, what does that look like?
There's none for this program. For the Maryland Mortgage Program, you have to be at least above 640.
Okay, and there's no credit score
Yeah.
limitations
Yeah.
with community partners. Awesome. Okay, and then the second one you said was
First-time home buyer.
okay. First-time home buyers also has a program. So talk to me about
Yes.
that.
So that one's for the first-time home buyers, and I actually dug a little bit deeper into it. If you haven't owned a home for 3 years, you can still qualify for this program. You don't have to be a true first-time home buyer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then if there's two clients purchasing a home, only one of them has to be a first-time home buyer.
That's interesting.
So hasn't owned a home within 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Game changer, right?
Right. I mean, certainly people that are moving out of state, they can be Maryland first-time home buyers, and they can save on their state and county taxes.
Right.
But to qualify for the first-time home buyer grant, you could live in the state and haven't owned a home in the past 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And how much is that program offering up to?
So that one's $12,500. So a little bit less, but that still covers a ton.
$12,500 is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm just trying to think of some past clients, younger clients, first-time home buyers. They were probably cash to close was around $15,000 to $20,000.
Yeah,
So that's covering a significant chunk.
definitely.
And again, there's income requirements, and it depends on the area for that one as well.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's the same.
Okay. And that's so okay. And you're able to layer the Maryland Mortgage Program with these.
Yep. Correct.
Can you layer the first-time home buyer and the community partners together?
I wish.
Come
wish.
on, all right, I know.
I can't make that magic happen.
No. But that's all. I mean, I have a lot of teacher friends. I have a lot of past students who are now in service fields like nursing and law enforcement and firefighting and stuff like that. Really need to take advantage of this.
I know. And then actually for the community partners, they do not have to be first-time home buyers.
Okay, and get $15,000.
Yes. Yeah.
That is incredible, and wow, I'm blown away because you had brought this. I don't know if I wasn't paying full attention in the meeting, but we had a sales meeting a couple weeks ago, and you presented these.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just as shocked, if not more shocked now as we're sitting down talking about this than I was in the sales meeting.
Yeah, it's funny. I keep getting that reaction because I've had a couple clients and I'm talking to them about the program. And they're like, but what else? Like, what else is there? And I'm like,
Right.
nothing.
Well, that's why I asked, like, what's the fine print?
Yeah.
You know,
It's too good to be true.
Too good to be true, really.
Yeah.
But it is good.
Yeah.
It is true, and there isn't really a whole lot of fine print with this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Wow. Wow, we covered a lot of these questions here already. So, and we already talked about the fact that with the Maryland Mortgage Program, when you sell the house that you bought in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whenever you decide to sell, that money has to get paid back to the state.
Yep.
But this money is forgiven after how many years?
So 5 years. So every year 20% is forgiven. So as long as you stay in the home 5 years, it's fully forgiven.
Fully forgiven, but you're still not paying as much back if, say, you move in that within that first 5 year period.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So let's get out your crystal ball.
Oh gosh.
Okay. We're looking at a market right now. Actually, let's define what the market is right now in your eyes as a lender.
Yeah.
And I can even talk about it a little bit from what I'm seeing. And then where do you see 2023 going, or even in the distant future? What are your predictions? Where are we now, and what are your predictions? And I'm not going to hold you to it. Okay.
It's funny because I think we talked about this last time on your previous podcast. So it's like I want to look back.
Now we got to go
projected. Yeah.
Go back to episode 8, see if she was accurate, and then we'll go double or nothing.
Yes.
Okay.
So no, this question's kind of like throwing pasta on the wall and seeing if it sticks. You know. It's so hard to predict with so many different factors. The bond market's just crazy. Right now, it's still pretty volatile. But like you said, interest rates are high, but they're still historically low.
Right.
Right now, from what I'm like listening to from economists, the market is pretty much at the peak, and in the next year or so, they do believe there's going to be a dip in the interest rates, kind of back down to like a normal level, but nowhere near where we were.
Right.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I guess the problem, from what I'm seeing, is the lack of inventory.
Yeah.
I mean, we're down significantly from when we compare, last February to this past February, and we're on February 28th again. We even have less inventory than we did last year, and that was a crazy market back then. So it's like, and I think a lot of it too is because the interest rates have come up some, that people are hesitating to buy. They're staying put because they have a super low interest rate.
Definitely.
So
I can definitely see that.
So it's kind of putting like this freeze on sellers, like wanting to move. How do you convince a seller that where you want to be, where you want to go, is more important than the interest rate that you have?
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know we refinanced and got in a low, like 2.75% interest rate, so, and we're not going anywhere. Yeah. Not that we want to go anywhere. I mean, we love where we live and everything like that. But if we did, would I hesitate? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, lack of inventory, interest rates. Do you think they're going to be going up before they come back down? Or do you think we're at the peak right now?
I would say they kind of keep going up a little bit and might slightly dip back down again. And I don't know. They're just kind of all over the place right now. It's hard to predict. I don't think they're going to go up significantly more than they are. I think we're pretty much at that peak.
Okay. So what is the risk? The floating the rate. Explain this to me. Floating the rate versus locking in the rate. What is risky? What is not risky? Talk to me about that.
Oh gosh.
Now I'm really putting you on the spot.
Yes. So that's a gamble. I don't know. I'm not a gambler. I've never been in a casino.
Okay.
Never done it. Would kind of want to, but never done it. So I always tell my clients, you can lock in this interest rate today. Typically, I mean, contracts are normally like 30 days.
Right.
In that time period, the interest rate could go up a little bit. It could go down a little bit. Are you comfortable with your mortgage payment? Because that's kind of what it comes down to.
Right.
Don't pay attention to the rate. Are you comfortable with this payment? Because you're going to be making it every month. So if they want to gamble and they want to wait and see if the interest rate will drop down a little bit, we can do that. If they want to lock it in, we can do that. So it's kind of in their court,
Right. Do you find more people are locking it in and being conservative?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah, because you just don't know.
Yeah.
And just like in this past December, everything kind of slowed down a little bit because the interest rates had gone up above 7%.
Yeah.
And people started they seized up,
Right.
But now we're getting out there now into the late February and, of course, going into early March. And there's a lot of buyers out there right now.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely a lot of buyers.
And so you got to be competitive. And I think asking the seller for seller assistance in closing costs is not winning the deal right now.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
And so if you can take advantage of a Maryland mortgage program or the first-time home buyer program or the community partners program that Atlantic Coast Mortgage offers, you're in a much better spot for negotiating when you're competing against offers because you have that source of funding coming from somewhere else and not the seller. And the seller's looking to net the most money.
Exactly. That's all they care about.
Yeah. What's the bottom line? How much? Because you could go above asking price, but then the higher you go above asking price to get that seller contribution is the riskier that the home doesn't appraise for that amount.
Right. Exactly.
And the sellers, educated sellers looking at that saying, well, that's more risky than if I have somebody that I'm not giving any seller contribution to.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
If people have more questions about these two programs, how can they connect with you?
Call, text, email me anytime.
All right. Give me the information. We're going to put it up on the screen if you're watching YouTube. And, of course, if you're listening to this on any podcast platform, write this information down. So what's your phone number?
410-490-6125.
6125. Okay. And then your email?
KDEEMS@acmllc.com.
Okay. And your TikTok handle?
Oh, gosh. I believe it's K Deems ACM.
Okay. K Deems ACM. You got to check it out. There's actually a lot of good information there. I mean, I know TikTok's there's a balance of humor and a little bit of education too.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we're trying to do.
We try to mix it up,
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. So check out Kristin there. You can also follow us if you're on social media at Facebook and Instagram at the Markland Advantage. We are on TikTok at TMA Real Estate and on YouTube. We're trying to grow our YouTube. So we've gone from, I want to say it was 78 subscribers, and now we're at 255. And the goal for 2023 is 500. So please follow us on YouTube. Got a lot of great content there. Kristin Deems, Atlantic Coast Mortgage, bringing the info, dropping the knowledge bombs, and really looking out for home buyers. It's two great programs. You got to check them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts?
I don't think so. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well done. Until next time, folks, live your life to the fullest, and we'll see you soon. Take care.